Cloud. Hello, all you lovely soul-inspired beings out there. This is Gina, Soul-Inspired Reflections, coming to you a few days ago, as I've mentioned on Instagram, for those of you that follow me there, that I would do a reading, kind of tapping into the energies of my walk from the other day in a town called Los Gatos that's near me, where I came across this beautiful, really monument that had this eternal flame of freedom, as well as a bell that reminded me of the Liberty Bell. And I kept seeing this bell. It first started at St. Mary's, which was a church up the block. And then I saw a bell, and I'm like, wow, that was really beautiful. Because you don't often see large bells around, at least I don't, where I live. And if they're around, I had not taken notice until my walk that day. And I thought, wow, the first thing that came to mind was the Liberty Bell that's in Pennsylvania. And then as I continued my walk, I came across this area that was built to honor those like first responders that have, they've given their life to rush in during disasters or events while everyone else may be fleeing, right? And that's a very honorable act to do, because there's some people that they just have this innate way in them that they go in to assist and help and save others. So they put their lives at risk for the well-being of others. And giving back in my own constitution of my being, I very much am that kind of person. I did have a career in law enforcement. Now, I was not a sworn officer. However, you're still considered a first responder. I did serve time in the field as a community service officer. Even my background as a records specialist, if things were to occur, or when all your resources are called back to the city or county or government that you work in, basically all hands on deck, right? That means you leave your families. You've signed up for that. You leave your families for the support of everybody, the community. So keep that in mind, as we also will relate this to your process of ascension, the collective, the planet in her ascension, and we are participating in that. It's a group, it's a collaborative effort energetically. Universal energies within the universe, and that is known and unknown to us, right? So I really invite you to come into this today with an open heart and just like, hey, let's hear what's coming through. Let's hear what's coming through and what maybe guidance or insight may come for you where you are currently at in this stage of your own evolution. And just to give you the date of when this is being recorded, it is January 25th of 2024. My walk occurred about 4 or 5 days ago on the 20th. Yeah, actually, I think. But anyhow, just to give you an idea, but I come on when I have the energy to do this. And so I just feel like, oh, I need to do this now. There's whatever needs to be said and come through, that's going to be supportive in some way, or maybe it's just hearing certain words and what it means to you, not necessarily what it means to me. So we're going to go ahead and clear the space. I already have a candle lit. So for those of you that are doing your own meditations or just centering yourself as you connect, light a candle or use this one representing the light within you and the light within all of life and the light that you're connected to, source energy. And I'm using Palo Santo today just to clear the space. And I'd like you to go ahead and breathe in and exhale, grounding your body, really bringing in that energy down through your crown, through your light column. For those of you that speak more that energetic languages of the chakra system and your body, and really visualize your body, your being, your mental state, physical, emotional, just calming, coming into balance, and just focus at this time together and just open your heart, breathing in, bring that energy down through the crown, third eye center, the throat, the heart, solar plexus, navel, sacral, root into your earth star chakra and into the heart of the earth. If you need to move your body around, feel free to do so. And that's perfectly fine. Get some water if you'd like. I always find it really helpful to hydrate while doing any of this kind of work and even listening sometimes. We're going to call on the energy of Archangel Metatron to assist us here in opening up the stellar gateway and keeping a clear channel. That all the energy that comes through is pure, is of light, and for our highest good. I guess. Some of you may hear my dog Gus in the background. Come here. Sometimes it picks up, but other times it doesn't. We're also going to bring in Archangel Sandalphon to assist in opening our Earth Star chakra and grounding. We're going to spray that at the feet a little bit too. And grounding. I'll go ahead and hold up that color because I'm also a Metatron color healing practitioner. I bring that into my work and it integrates really beautifully when I work with clients. It has a real nice, beautiful bronze color. And it's also metallic-y. And I think of the earth, it's very magnetic, right? As are you, especially as we're having this heart opening. It's extremely magnetic. Archangel Metatron holds all the colors, as do you, and everything holds all the colors, but it's often represented by orange as well. And to attune to him and his energy, and these two archangels are divine complements, where both hold the masculine and feminine energies, but primarily Archangel Metatron will hold the masculine energy, while Sandalphon will hold the feminine energy. And they are divine complements. Okay, so if you think about the magnetism that occurs and your awakening and that light being pulled up through your body, the Kundalini energy, the sacred secretion, all that runs up and down your spinal column. These energies of the archangels assist with that as well. And information coming into and activating your third eye center and strengthening your connection to source and God. So some of that may be depicted in different ways. Some of it may be something new also may have come out through me even connecting, and that's totally fine. However it works out for you and what you feel resonates and like, oh, you know what, that makes sense to me, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. I'm not here to force anything on you. You're at free will. That's part of what this is. You're coming into your spiritual sovereignty and the depth of your inner knowing and connection to source, God, creation, universe. So before we pick up any cards, I went ahead and looked up the Liberty Bell and also the word liberty, because I thought that was really important to kind of just get a general idea of what it represents and what it might mean for maybe you individually, for myself as I relate to the energy of liberty and how that looks in my life, and also the collective, right? So for those of you that are being called to do and recognizing like, oh, you're a star seed, you're a light worker, whatever label that you may describe, or you're just having an awakening, or you're growing a heart awakening. We're going through another level of quickening in energy. So I feel this is a really powerful time to recognize your sovereignty and the tools that are available to you to use as in your self-mastery and alchemy and transmutation, and which leads to freedom of the way you've been living, the constructs that we've all lived within as some describe the 3D, the lower vibrational states, the matrix, whatever terms, it's totally fine. But just know it's an organic process that's happening no matter what terms you use, whether you're more science-based or metaphysical-based, or you're bridging these worlds together. It's all language, okay? It's all language. So the Liberty Bell, it has an inscription on it that comes from the Bible King James Version. And I got this all from the Liberty Bell website, so you can go there. I'll try to remember to put it in the comments section or description. It says, proclaim liberty throughout the land unto all inhabitants thereof. That's a very powerful statement, which later also was borrowed by abolitionists, women's suffrage, and other groups that were claiming freedom, right? So they remind us this is where this country particularly talks about liberty and freedom. People come here and they say for liberty and freedom. And some will say the American dream, whatever that means, right? Liberty and freedom. Now, I came from, my father was an immigrant here, and he had a very strong perspective of what was available to him as an immigrant that was not available to him in his own country. So where I feel those that have been born here, not everyone, this is a general statement. I don't mean to this is not meant to upset anyone. I'm just bringing in perspectives. In my experience, many people that are born here take some of what our opportunities for granted. So it was nice to grow up with the contrast of someone who was extremely patriotic and had a lot of respect for this country and what it gave him as an immigrant moving from Argentina to America, United States of America, to create his life, right? And I know there's many other immigrants that have had really positive experiences. And considering our history, we've immigrated here as well. Okay, so think about how long really the history of immigration to this land has been. And it inspires me to do more research in our history. I'm not a historian, but as I've grown older, it's become more important for me to let me research that a little bit. What is that about? And so you may find it really interesting to just kind of learn a little bit more if it wasn't something you were interested in before. And I encourage you to get different perspectives, different groups, social groups, whether it's Irish, whether it's Blacks, depending on what region, where did they come from, right? European, right? Or were they Italian, Puerto Rican, Irish, Scottish, right? Because they're all going to have different stories, but they're also going to have some parallel and commonalities to becoming liberated, seeking freedom. Because I really invite you, all of us, to recognize that slavery, enslavement, shows up in all sorts of forms. It's not just isolated to one country, and it does not have just a specific look, right? Because today we can see it more as financial, right? Debt. Particularly this United States runs on debt, and so does its people. That's a huge way to cuff people, enslave, indebtedness, indentured, right? So I'd want to invite you to expand your understanding and perspective. I'm not asking you to give up anything, just to allow the expansiveness of oh, wow, that's true. It exists in every country in some way. And many countries have a history of some type of slavery or indenturedness. And what does that mean today, individually and collectively and globally, as we're coming into more freedom and returning to a state of liberty to do as you will? to be free, right? So coming back to the Liberty Bell just a little bit, and I'm not going to go deep into its history, but it is connected to London. It was originally forged in London and created there in a called Whitechapel Foundry in London. And a little bit of research I did on that area of London, I didn't do much, but it used to be known as High Street, where there at the time, during this time it was created in the 1700s, like 1751. It was ordered to be created by a speaker of the state assembly in Pennsylvania, Isaac Norris. And I found that interesting. So many of our connections, which makes sense, is from England and rural from England, direct connected. We're not separate from anything. Our country never has been separate, but it was seeking out freedoms, right? But this area was associated with a lot of crime during this time. I believe Jack the Ripper, a lot of upheaval, a lot of discordant energy, which I find really interesting. How does that relate to this right now? I'm not quite sure yet, but maybe it'll come up a little later in the reading, and I'll try to make this fast. I don't want this to be too long. And one of the significant pieces is, in addition to its inscription and what it represented, which is freedom, liberty to all, okay? In short, liberty to all inhabitants, okay? It also, when you'd ring it, because it's still in Pennsylvania. It doesn't function. There's a different bell that functions, but it was used to ring the lawmakers and to call meetings into order, or even the township to have news read, which that was really interesting. There's that inner call. There's the call of the bell. The call of the bell. And if you look at the etymology background of the word liberty, it means freedom. So I found it, oh, how perfect that this bell was right next to the flame of freedom at this area that was commensurating first responders, okay, and people that risk their lives for others. How does this relate to you? As I read some of this, I thought, oh, wow, there's many of you right now are hearing that inner call, that deeper call to change life, to change your life, to change the collective. And some of you may be showing up and recognizing, oh, I'm a starseed. Again, with the labels, these are all things that are occurring naturally within every single person that's going through the awakening process in their own divine timing on a soul level. And you always have free will and choice, right? You can't force someone to wake up. They will do it on their own. You just keep being you and holding the space with love for everything. And it's not all rose-colored glasses, okay? Ascension, you got to put your boots on sometimes, okay? You just do. It's not an easy place to navigate. However, when you have more tools in your belt, more self-mastery, then it becomes, you can navigate it with more ease and allowance, okay? But it's a bumpy time because we are basically recreating this world now. So that means the old structures are going to fall and are falling and in the process of falling. Some of you might have been aware of the stock markets in China, and people can't have access to their money. The government's not giving them access, closing their accounts, really limiting their access to resources, right? So keep these things, these world events in mind, and how this too is a part of ascension and bringing in the new world. Okay. Back to the bell. Some of you, again, are hearing that call, that light workers call to do more and hold more light within your body, within your being. You're doing your healing work, your inner, your contemplation, your self-reflection. You're allowing for your I am presence to come in and lead with your heart now. You're purifying your soul. You're leading with your heart, and it's time to become more outspoken in whatever it is you do, meaning being authentic. This is a time for the light worker to show up more, be your authentic self, with authentic, excuse me, authenticity, right? Meaning if you have a call to create something, whether it's a piece of artwork, do it. If you're creating a business for yourself, you're like, I'm passionate about this and it lights me up, do it. Keep the focus on what is driving you to do it, right? Is it the steps you're taking aligning you and supporting you to do it? Because you're very powerful. You just have to learn how to anchor that light in and recognizing you're bridging these worlds of matter and energy together. So it's form. You're learning how to understand the particulates, the quantum field, the 0 point field, the energy, how thought and emotion work together. You have the thought and then you have the feeling, which is through the emotions and through the heart. It's the masculine and feminine energy uniting within you. And it's time for you to start putting it into practice and creating and actually get out of your own way and let the light come through you. Let the light come through you. An example of this for me right now is me talking to you right now. Never did I think I'd be on Zoom or Instagram talking about, I never wanted to be in the public eye. And now here I am in a very public setting, even if it's through this digital world. And it feels really good to give myself a voice. If it's going to support others navigate their own ascension process and awakening that's unique to you. Because there's still some common things that can be supportive in your foundation, right? And working with the universal rays of light is something that I will always come back to. I have no doubt, because it's energy. Color's energy. Your color, your energy, your vibration, your frequency, right? My shamanic practices still come in. My nature connection practices, the earth-based practices, which are very much connected to universal practices, galactic, and otherwise a spirit, right? You're learning how to work with spirit, with particulates, with energy, even before it's matter, right? It's almost like you're reversing matter into literally your body is, you're learning how to lighten the density of your body and become particulates and let go of all the denser energy and qualities that reside within you, which reside within humanity, which reside within this planet and universe. You're shedding all that, and it literally, you become lighter in emotion, lighter in feeling, lighter in body, and you will lose weight as well, and you're just be like, oh, I can breathe more. So the flame of freedom reminds me, the initial thing reminded me of the violet ray. The violet ray is a very powerful tool of alchemy. You can call on Archangel Zadkiel, where we'll go ahead and bring his energy in, or her energy in. If amethyst is also a energy to call into, the Archangel Amethyst, as well as the stone amethyst. I have a version of amethyst. This is a phantom amethyst, and she's lightened up because she's been in the light a little bit, and sometimes they lose their color a little bit. I'll bring in this bigger piece for you guys. That's behind me here. It's a beautiful piece of amethyst. Now, you don't need to get a big piece of amethyst, but this is what I have I have one in every room. And they have a plan of their own that they'll tell me when I'm gonna do some grid work with them. And beautiful piece and powerful. Now, you don't need one that big. You can just buy a small piece or one that speaks to you, and you can always amplify it with the clear quartz and whatnot. So we're bringing Archangel Zachiel in this particular, it's beautiful. And remember, there's different frequencies within the color. Okay. And it's very much about freedom, transmutation, transfiguration, forgiveness. It's a tool of alchemy. Okay. So know that when you work with this ray of this flame, this fire, because the flame I walked by was the eternal flame of freedom, is what it said. And right away I thought of Prometheus, the violet flame, and the eternal flame of God that lives within you and your heart. The reason why I thought of Prometheus, because it's a myth, right? Well, he stole in now, I'm not an expert in Greek mythology, but in short, he stole the flame, the fire from Zeus to give to humanity. Because humanity already was aware of that flame. Zeus wanted to take it away. Prometheus said, no, the humanity gets to keep a flame, a fire that they're connected to. And now I'm starting to, excuse me. Those of you who've watched me a little bit, sometimes that happens when I need to keep talking or something's like, yes, keep talking there. Each and every single one of you have the flame of God within you. It's referred to as many different things: the divine spark, the threefold flame. You have always and always will be connected to source, your father, mother, God, creation, whatever terms you use. Okay. Do not get caught up in semantics here. Whatever term you use for that, perfectly fine. You don't have a term for it, perfectly fine. Make up one if you'd like. It's energy. Okay. Your connection to the divinity within you has always been there, and your connection to God or source energy has always been within you as a flame. It is depicted as the threefold flame within the sacred and secret chamber of your heart. Shamanism talks about it. Indigenous groups, Native Americans, other groups throughout the world all talk about it. Okay, in my teachings, I referred to it as a threefold flame in the Ascended Master teachings and Divine Spark. Also, my shamanic teachings, it was the secret chamber of the heart and Divine Spark. Okay, to keep in mind what the Divine Spark is depicted as: three primary plumes of energy. You have the pink plume of love, the indigo blue of divine will and God, power, okay? And then you have the illumination of gold or yellow illumination. Now, pink and the indigo create the violet. So you have love and divine will of God, your free will and love that creates the violet ray. Creates the violet ray. Now, when you invoke the violet ray of transmutation, forgiveness, freedom, diplomacy, it's very good in diplomatic times when you need to learn to speak and transmute and also put yourself in check and bring in your I am presence. When you invoke this flame, it directly connects to you on a cellular and particulate level, the energy, the seed atom that resides within every single aspect of you, every single particle, that golden light gets activated. You make way for the illumination to come through you. Hi, Gus. I see Gus right there. To come through you. So every time you're invoking that color within you and be with purpose, you are literally activating every single cell, atom, organ, every space in between within the physical body to bring it into its higher state of quality. It vibrates and oscillates within you. Now, I've done meditations in group settings where when you're in a group, it amplifies this energy. And you could feel the energy and particles in the room vibrating and vibrating faster and faster and faster. This practice of the violet flame, it does many things, okay? But it will assist you, should you wish to use it, in clearing your body, your space, your mental, emotional, physical body. You can clear the space with it. You can clear items with it. Like if I wanted to clear a crystal, if I can hold it in my hands and invoke the violet flame and clear it. I can call on the white ray of purity and bring in its purity into that. I can bring that into my body. I can invoke all these energy, the pink of love, invoke that within me. And you got to remember, it's a system directly associated with your light body and your chakra system. So, because remember, if I'm to shine white light through here, it creates a prism of color that we can see and not see, right? There's some colors we cannot see with our physical eye. And there's many, because our light body is infinite. It's an infinite growing structure. And so we got to remember here, we're working with power. Okay. Prometheus, the fire from Zeus, that's power. The fire within you is power. Your direct connection to God, source, is power. How do you, as you're coming into this sacred contract with creation itself, in a very cosmic way, you're recognizing you are a cosmic being of light. You're not separate from the universe in any way. You're not separate from this planet. You're not separate from me. You're not even separate from the technology we're using. We are a reflection of everything around us and vice versa. But as you are purifying your mind, body, soul, to allow your I am presence to come in, the violet flame is a valuable tool of alchemy to assist you with the freedom from your past, the freedom of even your soul history, the misqualified energies of the soul, and you can bring those into alignment, meaning purify them, bring the lessons forward that you gained, all that wisdom that's within you, excuse me, and bring things into a 0 point field of neutrality where you just are. It's like, it's even beyond seeing all the aspects of looking down. You just get into this place of just a state of being where just the love and light of God comes in, the love and light of what you are comes in, and you release your own self-identity that you spent so many X amount of years being like, that's who you are. It's no longer who you are, it's what you are, and how, and then you choose to walk this life in a state of awakened state that's grounded in your body on this planet, that breathes together, but that's in peace, that is always seeing from the highest point available and bringing that in as you choose to speak, as you choose to act, as you choose to do, and you're listening from a very different place in your life. So remembering that that divine spark is a part of God, your Father, Mother, God that lives within you, meaning the connection to all that is always there and accessible. You just have to be willing to build that relationship, build your light body to allow such levels of frequency and light to come in. So then you're no longer ungrounded anymore. It no longer knocks you off your center. You're able to magnetize and become in the toroidal field that comes in through your body, in through the planet. It's all within each other in a way that you haven't before. And you be part of the magnet that you've been kind of blocked from, right? Even in our clothing, rubber shoes, it blocks you from the magnet that this old matrix we're all breaking free from, right? Freedom, liberty to lead life in the way we're meant to, through joy, peace, harmony, in whatever way that looks like, not wanting or needing of anything. You're secure, you're safe, you are loved. People working together, right? Now, I'm not saying it's going to be all perfect, but when you are able to do that, it spreads. You transmute anything that's around you. You're able to de-escalate things. The level of discernment happens so much with more ease. The ability to see and feel things in a way beyond the five senses. It's beyond that. In some ways, it's even beyond consciousness itself, that in the way that we understand it. So let's come to pull a couple cards. The Ascension deck I'm looking at, and also Keepers of Light. We're going to see what they want to say and assist us with, I just got, go ahead and breathe in and ground a little bit more here. And we'll see what, I'm just grounding a little bit more. And for me, what happens, I get like in the head area, the crown, and I'm like, oh, okay, higher energy came in or something as I picked up this deck and called in, like what Keeper of Light would like to assist us with working with the violet flame, freedom and liberty and these energies within you, your divine spark. What does this mean for you individually right now, as you're being called to your light work and your inner calling? Okay. Metatron assist us in one or two cards to assist in those that are feeling the call to do light work and their inner calling, in whichever way that looks like for you. What message do you have for those right now? Sanat Kumara, light activation. We're going to have one more card. Else from this deck? No. Okay. So this is from the Keepers of Light Oracle deck from Kyle Gray. And the card that came out was Sanat Kumara. I love Sanat Kumara, light activation. And he's a master alchemist and working with the violet flame. And if those of you that are ever interested and really are a violet flame being, that really are drawn to that, this book is amazing. I found it. It's becoming it's his story, how Sanat Kumara became a Kumara, and the training a planetary logos. So, and that I find is really, I lit up when I read that book in one sitting, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense because other planets have discord too and have to come into harmony. We're not the only one that fights and has such polarity. Okay. Other planets do as well. And Kumaras will go train at other planets to be able to transmute denser energies and bring in that violet flame and those qualities. So I encourage you to get that book. If those of you that really light up for the violet flame, I know I do. And it's a really powerful tool of alchemy to use. You can heal your body with it, along with other rays for healing. And remembering you're not just working with the violet ray, when invoking it. There's 3 colors happening, and that's not even counting the different variations of those colors, right? So think about that, right? The spectrum of color. So Sanat Kumara, light activation. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. So go ahead and take in that image of Sanat Kumara. And even look at the white around him. See how his forehead and it's very lit up, right? And there's almost like, it's reminded me of our third eye center, even these points, right? If I'm creating a triangle and then the Merkaba, the entire activation of our third eye center, which incorporates many aspects, the throat, the heart, the alta major, the ears, the pineal gland, right? It's the whole mechanism of information for that develops the all-seeing eye. And then the emerald green ray comes in and many other colors, right? Also violet. It's very powerful and cosmic, which requires you to be grounded. Okay, just as the more light activation coming in through you, the more important it is to put your bare feet on the ground, literally. We're opening up that earth star chakra, calling on Archangel Sandalphon for assistance in teaching you how to do it. It's a mentorship. This is how I work with ascended masters, as mentors, as a peer, because I'm remembering how to walk in my self-mastery, as are you. What that means for me may be different for you. How I walk through it may be different for me versus you, because you're having your own soul experience. Okay. However, that energy lives within you. You were once ascended already. So now you're going through another level of light activation. This planet and the beings are going through another level of quickening. So as things are speeding up, the particles, we're going to feel it in our body. Some of you might be feeling, again, anxiety or maybe a feeling of stuckness. Again, breathe, slow down, be in stillness. Even as I'm talking, I can feel myself, ooh, okay, yeah, there's energy here within us, with you. We're connecting to the energy of Sanat Kumara in the angelic realm, and the ascended master beings of light and higher frequencies and higher beings of light that wish to come in today. Go ahead and put your hand in that mudra. Yeah. You notice he also has a staff of white light. And it looks like an orb of light at the ends. And his body is golden. It's lit. The hands are lit up. His hair is golden, white. And even his clothing, right? It's really important right now too. The clothing that you wear is important because it has a frequency and vibration. I recently just watched something today to not wear wool and I think was it cotton together because it cancels each other out. Linens are really high frequency for you. You want to just look up pure clothing versus synthetics. Okay, so for those of you that may have sensitivities to your skin or even feel heavy or like, oh, this doesn't feel good, pay attention to what your clothing is made out of. Like these little white t-shirts, these are all cotton. And I usually buy like 6 at a time because that's what I tend to wear. I'm a jean and t-shirt kind of lady. However, I love getting dressed up when I feel called to because that feels good too. But I tend to look for more natural fibers now. And that was just an organic thing that started happening. That is part of the alchemical, like chemicalization process. You may find that you're eating different foods, lighter food, Especially those of you that are meditating every day and walking in nature every day, the energy is keeping you healthy, keeping you filled and nurtured. So still make sure you're getting your natural, your minerals, your amino acids, your proteins, the things that help your body connect with your body elemental. Okay, but again, it's all going to assist you. If you're looking at this as like your light body, it's going to assist your light to integrate into your cells, into form. But let's read the book, what it has to share with us with Sanat Kumara. There's just a little segue there. Because all these things are going to help keep you grounded, okay? And in the higher energies of that you're bringing, that's coming into your body, that you're inviting in, you're allowing in, because your soul is ready for that purification, and your I am presence coming in, your higher self, higher aspect. Shine your light. Your eternal guidance is coming through loud and clear. So it's also reminding you to listen. Listen to your internal being, your internal way. Let your heart be the compass now. Bringing in your I am presence. Okay. That is how you're learning to lead your life through. All right. Sanat Kumara, which means eternal youth, is an advanced cosmic light being who is dedicated to helping the earth rise up toward the light. He is, as far as I'm concerned, the leader of the keepers of the light. He has been acknowledged as a god in Hinduism and the Mahabharata story, which has come down from heaven bearing God's divine plan. In more recent times, he has been acknowledged as coming from Venus, which has a big love frequency. And he's actually studied a lot in Venus and planetary logos work. Okay. And Venus, and bringing through unconditional love. He has eyes that are made of the cosmos with the ability to penetrate the soul and activate its highest, brightest light yet. He can seem otherworldly because his looks are beyond human. He is a being of the light, shining with the purest intentions. He is the twin flame of Lady Venus. Together they activate the heart and light of those who welcome their help, so they can shine brighter than ever. The extended message: you are here to light up the world. You may feel that you are being pushed or that there is a lot going on at once. And this is because your energy is magnetic to others and they want it in their life. Take the time to listen to your inner voice. Remember the cosmic light of heaven and draw it into you. That is all you need to do. So inspire the world. So I'm reminded here when we're talking about magnetism, there's also going to be those people that your magnetic light that's occurring, the heart. There's also be some people that aren't ready for that and it repels them. It makes them uncomfortable to be around you. They don't even know why. And I experienced that uh, uh, periodically and often, and actually lived next door to someone where literally if my presence comes in and they're walking the other way very fast. I find it to be very interesting. So I just still, within myself and the land that we share, I call on the violet, excuse me, violet fire to bring calm, transmutation, peace. We call them lavender because it's very calming, especially when people are angry. You can work with the I am presence, not force it. If anyone, it's always their divine will and choice if they wish to receive energy, right? And I'm not talking about to interfere. You're asking for permission when doing this, not for personal gain, just for the highest good of all involved, right? So I know there's that piece of me that misspeaks when I say violet, and it comes out as sounds like violent. The violet ray of transmutation and freedom can actually be used, and you can pray and send energy to areas that are having violence occur in them, wars occur. That's no different from your body either. So it's a ray of peace. It brings peace and love, right? Because remember, his divine complement is assisting with love. Very much the Venus in him brings in love, peace, transmutation, transfiguration, harmony. Transfigures discordant energy into light, into higher forms of light. Okay, to higher forms of light. Is anything else, Metatron, that you want be said, that you'd like said tonight? No, any more cards to pull? Okay, one more card from the Ascended Master, or excuse me, the Ascension card deck by Diana Cooper, and then we will be done for this evening. And what this might mean for you, right, in your own activation of light within you that's occurring. Pay attention to grounding, pay attention to how you're eating, your moods, things like that. And what's around you, what's being drawn toward you, what's being kind of repelled, and to go into your higher self and be like, oh, what's here for me? What's here for me right now in this? Really mastering going inward as you have expressions that are going outward. Okay, this is self-mastery. This is learning how to work with the light of God within you. Strengthening your connection, doing your call to the light within you. It's the call to the light that's within you, right? This is always one of my favorite decks. But it's really just an aid. There's a lot of energy in these. They're fun to use. They're supportive, highly supportive. But I'd like you to focus on trusting your intuition. Okay? Just even Sanat Kumaro is reminding of you to trust your inner guidance, your higher wisdom. Yeah, I just got another hit as he's coming in. That's what I was feeling, his energy coming in, to trust your love. Trust your love. Trust your light. Trust this discernment as you're building and remembering how to be sovereign, and allow the activation within you to occur, and ask for support in the integration of it. So that's where I feel this is where, how can this next card, who wants to share what's going on as far as integration of this violent flame? Of course, Saint Germain pops out. Because he's the Chohan of this ray. Now, every ascended master being of light knows how to master all these rays, but there's some govern, they have a certain attainment, and then they have a role and they govern certain things. Now, Saint Germain he governs the violet flame. The violet flame is the color, the primary color for this eon and the golden age to come in, which is not a surprise to me, given that it activates the golden light within you. Your permanent seed atom, your God light. Okay. So what this card says is Saint Germain, Lord of Civilization, cooperates with Archangel Zadkiel to transmute the lower energies of the world in the violet flame. He is the great alchemist and magician who transforms that which no longer serves into something beautiful and light. Okay, there's another paragraph here, but I'm going to reread that. He transforms that which no longer serves into something beautiful and light. So if you are these energies, and there is no separation, and everything that exists within you, that exists within the universe and this planet, that means too, that energy of Saint Germain lives within you. So that means you have the power to transmute and transfigure lower energies of your world and of this world, of your light body, raise them into higher frequencies, right? Meaning like if you're dealing with the root chakra, the sacral, the solar plexus, you're no longer living in fear. You're in your personal power and abundance, light coming in. Your relationships are more balanced and harmonious. You're balancing your masculine and feminine energies, right? You're literally having a new relationship with yourself, trusting things. Your third eye is waking up, your heart is opening. Things are coming into balance as you're learning how to transmute and transfigure and let go of the old version of yourself, which too is letting go of the version of the world that we've been in for so long, that on a deep level, this organic process of ascension, the ceremony of ascension or ritual of ascension, the soul purification and the entrance of your I am presence into embodiment, into physical form is happening. That means you have the power to assist that to be smooth transition. Okay. Create worlds like Sunat Kumara coming into other worlds to transfigure, transmute, and raise the vibration and frequency. So anything that is not of that higher vibration doesn't stay. So you're raising even the lower density energies of yourself, oscillating them at such a rate within your body, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, that the old way you would think, the beliefs, the holding on to the old stuff and your past experiences, they literally get wiped out. And you're like, oh, I just don't feel that way anymore. Oh yeah, that happened. And it doesn't, there's no more emotional charge to it because you've learned to completely relate to things in a completely different way, bringing in your higher self and higher qualities and waves of being. Okay. You're the alchemist. You are the master alchemist and the magician of your life and of life. And to use these qualities and energies, hi guys, in the highest form available, the highest way to serve the highest good, to serve the light within you. Okay, it's not about being selfish and self-serving. Yes, you get to take care of yourself, but it goes beyond this whole, remember that in the 80s where it's like whoever has the over materialism, right? Like it's like, I'm just going to take and give. Whoever has the most toys wins. No, all that goes away. That way of operating, the victim mindset, the victim way of being, all that goes away. You are taking responsibility and accountability for your personal life and how that's contributed to humanity. Every thought you think gets put out there. Every word you express is put into the field. So you're learning to really, purify all of that up. Okay. Your guidance is to invoke Saint Germain, surround yourself in his violet light, and see the divine perfection in whatever or whoever you wish to transform. Your pure intention and focus can co-create with his energy to make miracles happen. Use this to help yourself and others to ascend. Affirmation: I believe in my ability to create miracles. I believe in my ability to create miracles. I believe in my abilities to create miracles. And that's where I will leave you today. And stay tuned because I'll start doing a series of teachings on the violet flame. And so look for that, and I'll post it on Instagram when it's up on YouTube as well. And be sure to like and share this video. Join me on Instagram. And if you'd like to subscribe to my website, it's free. It's no charge to anybody. Feel free to do so at www.soulinspiredreflections.com. And just a subscription. I don't send out a lot of emails, but when I do, or send out a blog, then you'll have it, or any upcoming classes or courses that I may put together, because I know I am feeling that call to put a class together to support others in grounding, anchoring, and working with the light body and universal energies, primarily the violet flame as a foundational piece to that and nature connection, and support you as your clairs are opening up and walk through this world, walk through your body and the ascension process, and support others in the ability to support yourself, right? Because you're learning to be your self-master, mastering energy, managing your energy. And sometimes that needs a little guidance. We all need a mentor. We all need a mentor. All right. Many blessings to you. Much love to you. Until next time, I'm Gina, Soul Inspired Reflections, and have a beautiful, beautiful day.